Broadcasting live from upstate New York, a technology talk show that puts you and your questions first. It's Tech Talk Live.
Yeah, baby, it's Tech Talk Live. Coming to you live from upstate New York. I'm Flipper.
I'm Stein.
And I'm JJ.
And we're a local computer talk show, and we're having technical difficulties this morning. I love it.
You didn't Velcro the cameras again?
No, I didn't Velcro
Well,
the
that's
cameras
right.
yet. You're fine. JJ's a little high, but no big deal. So,
Little high.
Well, he's trying to say hi.
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 But anyway, I guess we're going to revolve around what happened here just outside of Studio B this week.
Right. We had a major storm come through, a very short, brief storm, but it was very damaging winds, something that we never see up here in central New York usually.
Not that often.
Not that often usually, right?
I'd like to see it more often, but I don't think everybody else wants to see it more
Why,
often.
does that blow the way of the riffraff?
Get out of here.
I like severe weather, sorry.
I know.
Well,
you
it
do.
keeps them busy in the office.
Right.
It kept us really busy in the office.
I'm just mentioning office, not
Correct.
So, anyway, what we're going to revolve around is how many people are prepared for stuff like this.
Right, and how to prepare for something like this, and on several different levels.
And
So, I mean,
JJ, you?
yeah.
What do you got?
I got lots of stuff, but it's all over there on the printer, so I'm trying to deal with the problems.
problems.
Major malfunction here.
Right.
The one thing I've got is a program brought to you by the state, and I'm not sure if you've got it or not. It's a alert system called New York Alert. You can get it on your emails. You can get it on your cell phones.
Now they're doing it all over Facebook, Twitter, and all that, right?
Right. New York Alert, it's a state-sponsored program that gives you up-to-date weather information, missing persons information, anything that, press releases on any major incidents going on in the area, notification map, weather. You sign up for it right through the state. You can put your home phone in there. You can get phone calls at home. You can get text messages sent to your smartphones or any cell phone, really.
Nice.
Email alerts.
Well, I called them up, and they was looking for me. I thought I was missing.
You're
bad I
always,
wasn't.
yeah, you're always missing.
But
If anybody wants to check it out, you just want to go to www.newyorkalert.gov. Bring you to the website.
make sure that's not a .com.
Right.
It's .gov.
.gov.
So, and .eud and
.eud. And it also does road closures for you, notifications. I mean, you could be traveling down, leaving upstate New York and heading eastbound towards Albany, and if there's any type of road closures and you're getting into that specific zone that your smartphone's picking up, the alert will come across. Hey, there's been an accident down the road, and there's a detour. That'll come across your phone so you get into that specific zone.
Nice.
I've got mine set up for 2 counties, of course, our county and the county west of us, because our weather usually tends,
Comes from the west.
west.
comes from
right.
the west. So,
This last one actually came from the south, from what I understand.
Southwest.
yep.
What?
I just turned something off.
Well, it's good.
Right.
Now I got my sound off.
Anyway, you can sign into New York Alert, put in your address and or county, town, village, or zip code that you want. Put in the specific zones that you want to get alerts for. I got missing children alerts that pop up with it on my cell phone as well, along with vulnerable adults, weather information, any type of serious type of instances in 2 counties.
Nice. So basically, this is a great thing to get prepared for an emergency. It might not necessarily be a good thing during an emergency.
Correct. They give you the heads up that
Yeah. Oh my God, you better get ready.
something's coming.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, anybody got any comments on that can give us a call at
315-220-0692 or send us an email at
Should be W. Throw me right off here. Doing it backwards this time.
Hey, got to be ready for us.
Doing Tech Talk Live NY at gmail.com.
Right. Send us your emails or give us a call today, and we'll get you in for a drawing for an 8 gigabyte USB thumb drive from Penny.
Doing that tonight at
yeah, we're
near
gonna-
the end of the show.
Yeah, we're going to draw this month's USB drive at the end of this show. So you got this show to call in, so do it today.
And we also got a little one, which I'll put up on camera here for Father's Day. Da, 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 da.
There is something really wrong with you.
Well, we got to have a fanfare, don't we?
Right. I should probably start downloading some more audio stuff, but I just haven't had time. It's been nuts.
But anyway, getting back on comments on this disaster we had here. I mean, you can call in from anywhere in the United States. You know what I mean? I know you people have tornadoes and hurricanes and whatever else, you know what I mean, the disasters. And if there's any point of view that you would like to give us or give other people, please call us.
Yes. So, anyway, I think what I've learned from this disaster, or if you want to call it a complete disaster, it was a complete disaster on our end at least, is, three main points, okay? One is one of JJ's big pet peeves is communication.
Communications.
Yes. During this whole thing, my cell phone lost power, so I didn't have no way to charge it.
No car charger? You could have.
I didn't even have one. I had luckily though, my car does have an inverter.
Correct.
So I could plug in the wall outlet right into the car and charge it. But needless to say, I didn't think of it because we were scrambling trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, you had the generator running here. You could have plugged it in there if you had a...
Well, that kind of brings me back to the point is what is emergency preparedness from a technological standpoint? What do you need to really get by? I mean, is
it really a necessity to have your cell phone?
Well,
or a convenience?
I really think it was a necessity because that's my only form of communication.
Correct.
I don't have a home phone.
How about these people with Time Warner cable?
For?
No electricity.
Well,
theirs all go out.
Right. So there's another good question. If the electricity goes out, does Time Warner go out? Not necessarily.
If your phone is operated off a
VoIP
plug-in, it doesn't operate just off Time Warner. It's got to have a plug-in like a wall, what do you call them, wireless phone.
Okay.
So I've got to communicate with that machine to go to cable to go out.
Well, I suppose you're right with that if they have all wireless phones.
Because when Betty and Fran had the problem down there and their electric went off here when we were down there, we couldn't call them.
Right, but if the devices were powered, like we're back to the generator idea, okay, if those devices were powered, just because the power goes out doesn't mean the internet goes out.
No,
not necessarily.
Well, I'm not saying that, but you got to have electricity to power the devices that you're using on the internet.
Right. So the question comes down to is functionality for a home. What are the big key things that you have to keep powered?
Now the battery backup for your...
Right. So I think one of the big things that we were talking about was fridges. You got to have fridges on power. So, okay, so you can go buy decent... Actually, I found your...
Just don't open it as often.
Right?
You found my what?
Hopefully. If it's insulated well.
If it's insulated well.
Yeah, see, mine's that high efficiency garbage. You know? And I'm telling you, I was at 54 degrees within an hour of the power going out.
Wow.
I can't believe that with the high efficiency insulation that you have and that would mean that refrigerator would kick on every 3 minutes and run for half an hour or an hour.
Well, that's probably pretty much what it does. So,
well, I'd get rid of that refrigerator and call the power company and say, Jesus, I got to get a new refrigerator. What do you recommend? You know what I mean?
You know, the funny thing is that fridge does not take that much electricity to run, which is, I think that's the whole point, is they offset something with something else in order to get. But anyway, back to the point was getting some type of generator. Whether you want something like a portable wheel-in generator where you fill it with gas and pull the cord, and now you got power. Now the question comes down to how big would you need to run your...
Well, this is what our question was.
Right. So the one that you had found, the 3,000, the Champion 3,000 running watts.
Running watts.
Yep.
Continuous. Now that's the other trick. Continuous.
Right.
You can buy a generator that's not continuous and it'll burn out after a while.
Right. So this is a continuous run. You can buy it at any of the big box stores. $329 Is $329, a good peace of mind for you? Now the question comes down to play is what do you hook that to after you get it? Well, you're going to hook your fridge to it.
You only have 110 on that side now. That's all you got. You don't have a 220 hookup. But the other part is that it's got a plug-in for a 30 amp mobile home plug-in.
Right.
RV, I should say. RV, not mobile home. An RV plug-in, 30 amp.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's only 110 as, my mobile home plugs into my power outlet, but it's got to have a 30 amp circuit breaker, which makes it so that will run an RV. So if that'll run an RV, how much of the home will that run?
Well, that's kind of where we were going with this, is that, okay, what do you need to have on power? Would you have some basic lights, probably?
Basic lights.
Fridge. If you have a 110 heat element for, like I have a boiler that only takes 110 to run the heat and electric, or heat and hot water.
So what if this happened in cold weather?
Well, that's my point, is what would I have to do in this situation?
Hope you have gas.
Well, right, because my heat is gas. My heat is a gas boiler.
But if you had electric...
Now, if you have electric, you got a totally different problem.
Right.
But it takes electric to run the gas, to make the furnace work, to run the pump, to circulate that hot water. Right?
Right.
Electric and gas, just because you got gas, you got an electronic ignition on your stove, right? For your cooking?
Right. Uses 110.
But can you light that without that electronic ignition? Yes, you can.
Yes, with a lighter.
Right. One of them long campfire lighters.
No, I just get down there and just...
Yeah.
I'll rub two sticks together if I have to.
But I'm just saying, at least you got a little bit of heat or a little bit of cooking.
Right. Well, that's kind of where I'm trying to go. This thing would run probably the fridge and the electronic ignition devices for gas-powered things like gas-powered heat, gas-powered...
It'll run all your lights in the house.
It'll run all your lights in the house, because especially if they're mostly fluorescent. So you could have lights and stuff. Now, here's the other good thing. Most of your electronic devices, like laptops, are very low wattage in low amperage. You could actually get a laptop up. So if you have Verizon Wireless and Verizon Wireless was still up, or one of the wireless carriers was still up, okay, you could still get your alerts and have communications. And I think that was the biggest thing that scared the heck out of me when we were sitting here at night with no lights. The fridge was on, at least, and we couldn't get a fan to work in the bedroom because it was kind of warm that night. Right. It was like 90, 95 degrees or whatever, or 85 degrees at night.
But the other thing is like you said, no communications. You could have took that right out and plugged it right into that other, like the one that you're referring to, into the other circuit to charge your phone for an hour.
Yep.
And you'd have had a communications all night anyway.
Right, but I think that
was what?
That's kind of the topic I'm trying to get to, is what did we have to do? What was the scary part of what we had to do to deal with this thing, that we could use technology, and how do you get that technology to work?
It's just like that 100-foot cord of fluorescent lights that I got.
Yeah.
The CFL plug-in that I bought.
Yes.
100 foot of it.
Yeah.
I could have run this through the house and downstairs and plugged it into the generator, and you'd have had lights all through the house.
Right.
All night long.
Hop around the stairs and you'd be good to go.
Right.
So
anyway, yeah, I was looking at those generators online. I think I don't know where you located yours.
I got it at Lowe's. This one's from Lowe's.
The one I was reading, I think, was from Tractor Supply, I think it was. And
yeah.
Boy, they got a bunch of adapters that you can get for these, for extension cords, if you want to split off, if you had
right. But they have to be 20 amp. But here's the thing.
Right.
Like, we don't have a battery-powered radio in here. So we couldn't even get radio. So like we couldn't tell what was going on.
So where's your emergency radio? Did you go out and buy one?
No, I didn't.
Well, the one with a crank?
I'm going to get one, actually. Actually, that was one of the other things in here that I was really kind of interested in, was not only can, like this generator, you could actually run an extension cord to your Roadrunner box and your, or whatever you have for internet. Oh, look, we have a call. That's great. You're on the air live with Tech Talk Live.
Hey, this is the stipulation calling.
Hey, how you doing, Peter?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Hey, I was. You told me to call in to talk to you about the zombie thing.
Yes, I want to know what the heck a zombie is. We were talking last week about how anonymous forums,
Zombie.
people were
Right.
getting on there with one username or multiple usernames, and they degrade the conversation. And was it called a zombie, Peter?
Well, there are several different names. One of them was Android, where they refuse to accept any emotional arguments, and they just pick apart every other little aspect of your argument, so that they miss the point and knock you out because they distract the discussion.
Okay.
There's 2 or 3 dozen different versions of the troll, and it's all different games people play to feel like they're superior in the argument. And sometimes it can be fun, but
so that's an
most of the
Android.
time an Android is one. Zombie was another. There was a whole bunch of them. I can't remember them all off the top of my head now. But anyone who look at the forums, you know who's what by their screen name often, how they're gonna react.
Right. So basically, like saying, if we wanted to have an intelligent conversation about how everybody weathered in the storm, we might actually start off fairly well, but then we'll get an android or a zombie popping in, and then totally degrade it into a shouting match of you suck and I suck and we all suck too.
That's right, and so is bad, and you always lose the point.
Right.
Now, the next thing is anybody that starts doing that, do they have any actual hardcore evidence or material to back up what they're saying? You hear them get on that and do that stuff, right?
So,
Most people don't need it. I mean, it's the rule of the internet. Whoever posts the most knows the most.
Well, that's like he who eats the fastest gets the mostest, huh?
Right.
That was a baby boomer.
Well, when you come from a family of 11,
Yep.
yeah, you have to eat fast in order to get seconds.
Border house reach, right? I remember that. I remember when you used to tell stories about that.
And what was Pete's idea of what happened during the storm?
How do you feel? How did we weather the storm, Peter?
I mean, I saw Peter down in the office. Busy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a really neat job. I mean, it was the first time, I guess, in I think Charlie McCann said 20 years that we actually activated the full emergency operations center and brought folks in.
It's only been running 20 years.
Well, right, but normally they would, the sheriff and the emergency manager and whatever fire chiefs are on the scene are able to get organized quickly and make it happen. And in this case, we needed everybody out on the road that we could. So their normal people they would have helping get stuff together were out in Seneca Falls and Waterloo and Fayette and all that. So yeah, it was really kind of a cool, scary but cool thing as the information was coming in and being organized and decisions were being made and really we did several drills over the last couple of years and you can really see how they paid off because I came down and I had never really done this before except in a drill and
my first two.
And I basically knew what I was supposed to be doing, so I just went and did it.
Right.
Without having to bother anybody, and everything seemed pretty smooth. So that was kind of wouldn't want to do it all the time, but it was really kind of neat.
Little bitty quirks that you got to tweak out.
Right.
Yep.
What do you think about the technology behind it? Do you think that played a major role or not? Or
well, certainly being able to use our 911 center to be in contact with everyone was critical. I understand that at one point Cuyahoga County lost some of their communications equipment, and we ended up providing weather reports to Cuyahoga County in the very early stages of this, which I thought was kind of interesting. You end up the technology is what is allowing us to respond as quickly as we did, even though it still took about 45 minutes before we really started to get a handle on
Yeah,
handle the
because
situation.
the overabundant phone calls.
Exactly.
Right.
So
If I'm not mistaken,
I gotta do something here.
if I'm not mistaken, off goes the hat. Snide.
I gotta make it look like all three of us are on here.
All right.
We're all bald.
And if Peter was here, he'd be bald too.
Anyway, yeah, it was like, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I do believe we ended up taking over 800 calls within 3 hours.
Holy cow, that's
requests for
amazing.
services.
That's amazing.
And there's normally only 4 of us on.
And if you were doing that with the old setup, before we got all the new technology like multi-call and the computer-aided dispatch,
Right.
Our
phone system was loaded right up. I mean, I don't think there was an empty line for quite some time.
right,
But,
amazing.
It was also nice that we were the only ones that had power in the entire building
Hey, you're welcome.
as well.
That was called a backup generator,
It was
right?
called the backup generator, exactly.
But this is what we were talking about on the show is prepared for, home people, And would a backup generator be, economical to have,
Well, here you go. Now that brings me to the next product that I actually looked up. They actually have a gas or natural gas or propane setup direct through a home box store. They actually sell some smaller units that would probably power a whole house. 7,000 watt for propane and 6,000 watt for natural gas. Standby generator with automatic transfer switch. So it comes with everything you need to install. Except for the piping for the natural gas. That's the only thing you got to buy. Okay, it's $1,899. So
$1,800?
$1,899.
That's not too bad.
Plus about $500 of installation. You got to remember that you got to have an electrician come in and put in the transfer switch, and if you're going to do the. Well, I mean, you got to play
handy, so you got to hire somebody.
Right. So I'm going to go based on my experience. I have to have help with
And
everything.
I'm calling in somebody as well.
Right. So okay. So figure $2,500. Figure $2,500. A typical home user can actually have a backup generator, just like the 911 center has, that would power their entire house without ever anybody doing anything, and it just kicks up and goes.
But that's the point. It turns the switch off automatically, so it's not backfeeding through and electrocuting the power line guys.
Right.
And then when the power comes back on, it automatically switches back and shuts the generator down.
Right. What do you think, Peter?
I think it's a great idea. My parents have that at their house up in Wayne County. They put in a geothermal system a couple of years ago, which is all powered by electric. And so when the power goes out now, in order to have any sort of heating and cooling whatsoever, they needed to have the backup generator in.
And I'm
so
sure
they, in fact, put 7,000 watt systems. So they've used it a couple times. They said it works really well.
I was saying, I'm sure being in Wayne County that they get some weather up there, especially during the snow season, and probably comes in handy. Definitely.
Absolutely. Right. So,
but here's the thing: how often does the power go out?
Well, they're up in the northwestern end, so the power grid there is pretty good. Now, what they've told me is that they've lost power maybe 2 or 3 times over the last year or so, and not for very long.
That's enough to warrant buying something like that. But if it only goes out maybe once a year for maybe a half an hour or something,
Right. Well, like I said, it's for them. It's their only heat source and air conditioning source in the house. So they felt that that's what they wanted to have, particularly in the winter time.
Sounds like a good investment to me.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. Well,
even if you can save your food once.
Right. I mean, $200 worth of food goes bad in a fridge. I mean,
and you don't have another $200 to replace it.
Right.
Warrants a $329 generator, right?
Well, easy at least.
Easy,
right.
At least.
The other thing is depending on your situation too. It depends on how much of the house you want to do. One of these would do the whole house automatically. You don't have to do anything. I don't have to call Snide up and go, Snide, I need the generator. Oh my God, bring it down.
Well, go get your mother-in-law.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Right.
That was a good one. Up every 2 hours.
If anybody else got a comment on this, give us a call 315-220-0692 or throw us out an email.
Right. Tech Talk Live, ny@gmail.com.
So, Peter, any other comment on generators or anything or not?
No, I don't think so.
But how about preparedness for people, what they should be prepared for? Make sure you go outside. When you go outside, don't step on electric power lines.
Exactly. Stay away. Assume any power line you see is live.
And especially ones that have 35,000 volts in them.
Right.
Feeder ones.
Exactly.
Now, can I go outside during a thunderstorm and wear my aluminum hat? Is that okay?
Sure, why not?
No.
Well, he'd look like he'd look like the Tin Man when he.
I felt like the Tin Man in that one day. Holy cow! I was out there with a hand axe all by myself in my driveway.
So,
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
but anyway, we had he split a tree out in front of the house here. It was a hard maple, and I didn't know whether we should take it down or not. And I kind of decided, if we get another storm, you know where that half of that tree is going, right over on his house.
And into
So-
the studio, we would have had
Branches.
plant life in here.
We would've
Studio
had-
B
we
would have
would've
had a
had-
more atmospheric
Yeah, we
feeling.
would have had all sorts.
Yeah, look, it's outside. I see the sky.
We would have had more branches than you could shake a stick at.
Wow.
But anyway, we cut down that tree, and just about the time that I dropped it, a gust of wind to come along, and it blew it right around to the south. And when I pulled the chainsaw out, I hit Flipper right in the knee with the chainsaw.
Oh, busted my knee hard too. Oh man.
I'm glad it was the heel of the chainsaw, not the blade.
yeah, me
Right,
too.
you think?
Uh,
I would have had to call Peter, and Peter would have had to carry me around for a week.
Yeah, not happening.
No? Would you at least buy me one of those pirate peg legs?
no, you got your electric
No, but I
wheelchair.
get you a wheelbarrow and I'd move you around the wheelbarrow. How's that?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
They make them powered, you know.
Could I wear the pirate hat though and be like, "Arr, first mate, move me over to the vending machine." Arr.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, good. As long as I
Sure.
can do that. Gotta have some fun with that. Oh, we got,
all right, guys.
2 minutes. So you gonna sign off, Peter?
Yeah, I'm going to sign off, and you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, thanks, Peter.
Sounds great.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
See you.
So
But back to prepared for this stuff. Have you got a chainsaw? Remember years ago, my son says about somebody come in. Jeff come in the other day and he asked me if I had the old Barker? The Barker that I had.
you want to talk about technology problems? Right there was technology problems.
Man,
He
that
had
way-
like a 12-horse chainsaw with this big horn on the front of it. You could hear it for miles.
Miles.
The thing of it was that was a powerhouse.
Oh, it was. He could cut
Yeah.
through. He cut through a stump probably the size of this table.
Nice.
It was they had a 36-inch chain on it, bar, and it weighed probably 18 pounds, 20 pounds, something like that. And
Go
I'll
through
tell you,
anything like butter,
it
though,
would,
I'm sure.
it would,
Oh,
it
it
would
did.
take a man to run it. But I'm saying, technology advanced. Here you take that chainsaw and you just lay it on the tree, the base of the tree. You just lay it on there and it just goes right down through, just like it was soft wood. It didn't matter what it was.
Right?
And that's how sharp it was. And boy, the noise. You had to wear ear protection.
Oh, had to. Yeah, nothing like your chainsaw that you got now. That little Sears guy. That's just fine.
Well, that's an 18-inch bar.
But yeah, one of the things that I was saying was I did look up a couple different types of chainsaws. If you have a generator, you can get an electric chainsaw for as little as $69.99, and in a windstorm like this, it's invaluable. I mean, if I would have had some type of chainsaw that ran at that time instead of having to use a hatchet, I would have been through that tree and access to my house a lot faster than what I did with the hand axe. It took me 3 hours with a hand axe to clean up one big large branch. So anyway, we got to
go to break.
Yep. So anyway, you're listening to Tech Talk Live, live on FingerLikes1.tv, and I'm Flipper.
I'm Snide.
And
And
Whoops. Whoa, and I'm JJ.
Sorry about
Not the
that.
Coke Bear, man. I'm not the Coke Bear.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're a technology computer talk show. Give us a call when we get back from break. We're out here.
So many sights to see on the internet, but for everything local, there's one place you can get it. At FingerLakes1.com. Come on over to FingerLakes1.com. Make us your homepage. News, weather, sports, and fun. Log on to Finger Lakes One.
www.fingerlakes1.com.
You're listening to Free Music by Dano. Download free MP3s at danosongs.com.
You're listening to Tech Talk Live from Studio B in upstate New York.
I'm Flipper.
I'm Snide.
And I'm JJ.
And we're a talk show, computer talk show, technology talk show, whatever you want to call it, up here in upstate New York.
In Studio B. That's B for basement.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in the basement all right now.
Okay,
Most of the
we were
time.
talking about being prepared for these kind of emergencies with technology, no less.
Right. And
And you can give us a call.
Yeah.
at 315-220-0692. I don't even have to look anymore. Look at that.
Right. Nice.
As
Or
long as you don't
email
give
us.
out your other one.
Right. Or you can email us your questions.
Email us at techtalklive@gmail.com.
Or like us on Facebook. We want people to like us on Facebook.
I like you.
Give us a call. We're doing a drawing at the end near the end of the show.
Yeah, if you got a
Go on.
8 gigabyte thumb drive available, to help you back up your files or talk about emergency preparedness. You can back up your files so you don't lose all your data.
Anyway, we talked about technology back years ago when you had to throw the wood in the fire, the stove to keep it warm, and no power. You used to have, what do they call them, hurricane lamps, oil lamps, or candles, or flashlights, or something. Technology has got so far advanced that now it's generator systems that automatically switch, when the power goes out. So then we got to the point of, chainsaws. We were into the
Right, we were just talking about chainsaws and how much, a basic one. Personally speaking, I think everybody should have some type of cutting device, whether it's a chainsaw or even if you like hand axes and stuff. I've always, I've always been partial to hand tools.
You know how that is, how technology advances from the old axe to, the chainsaw.
Right. So, but one of the things that we were going to talk about, or we were starting to talk about, and we had to go to break, was you can get an electric chainsaw, and you can get a battery-operated chainsaw for roughly about $70. Okay, that would cut up basic stuff and help you deal with like storm problems.
Pruning, just branches and stuff. It wouldn't do. I don't think that battery operated would do butt logs.
Yeah, it wouldn't do butt logs. But the question comes down to, if the power's out, how are you going to use it? That was one of my big problems. I mean, okay, I could go over and get my next door neighbor's electric chainsaw, but I had no electricity to run it.
Well, since you didn't have any electricity, plug it into Larry's.
Right, there you go. Right,
Larry didn't have any either.
No, he didn't have any either. But anyway,
if you have an electric generator now, which we were discussing earlier, now you can plug the electric chainsaw in and do your work.
Right, absolutely. Or go back to the old style gas-powered chainsaws. You can buy a gas-powered chainsaw for about $105, $110.
Used to have a two-hand crosscut saw. They call them a crosscut, two-man hand.
Oh yeah, the band saws. Yep.
And you can pretty much
hand
find
saws. No,
Well,
they
it
were
was,
hand saws.
Yeah, I know. They
I
were
still
hand
got
saw,
one
but-
hanging in the garage.
Yeah.
Right.
You can pretty much find any of these at your local Lowe's or
whatever you want.
Tractor Supply. Or
Yep.
Home
Absolutely.
Depot.
Order online or Home
Why are
Depot.
you just, Lowe's?
If you want to give us a call, 315-220-0692, get your questions, or if you want to talk about what we're talking about, or if you want to change the topic, it's all good. We love phone calls.
Or just say hi.
Just say hi. We love hi.
Get your name in the drawing.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien. Y tú?
Okay,
Multilingual.
we be on what?
I don't know.
But, getting back to chainsaws, they got them so now that they're so easy to start.
Right?
It used to be, that's like that monster I got there that's underneath the bench. That takes 2 men and 3 boys to pull on that cord to get that thing to fire up because the compression is so high. Mm-hmm. You really got to pull on that thing. Mm-hmm. So,
well, they actually make some of those chainsaws now are coming with easy start engines on it.
a lot of them are easy start now.
Yep, where you just flip a switch, pull once, and it goes.
Kind of like your weed eaters.
Remember when we took down, what was it, 3 years ago? We took down all the pines here, and
42 pine trees between our yard and the next.
I thought it was 47, but anyway,
42.
Doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I had all sorts of problems with a gas-powered chainsaw that I had, and I couldn't keep it running. I could get it to fire, but I couldn't keep it running. And all it was nothing more than the old vacuum tube between the carburetor and the base of the engine. And then I went and got the tube. I wanted a replacement tube for it. And here we go with technology. The old tubes used to be made out of that plastic that would harden and break with gasoline. Now this new neoprene, it's or not neoprene, but it's new tubing that is like what do they call it? That hospital tubing, that they use.
Right.
And it's really flexible and strong and doesn't
Doesn't rot.
Just Ivy
Doesn't
tubing.
rot, but I'm just saying, I put that in there, and like I said, I brought it down here in 2 pulls, and I was fired.
Boom, you were gone. Yep.
And
nice.
It fires right up as long as that
Absolutely.
thing is. And I didn't know that little tube was a run to the fuel pump at the bottom of the carburetor.
Right. Well, we were talking just before break about some of the technology things that you really should have on hand.
Right.
An emergency radio.
Emergency radio.
It's stupid me didn't have one. Hey, you know.
Or emergency weather radio.
Right. So, emergency weather radio you can buy for about $35 at just about anywhere where it's a hand crank. You can crank it up and it'll power it. And you can get your basic emergency channels, such as your AM stations or your news stations.
About a nice chest cooler.
A
So
nice
you
chest
could-
cooler.
yeah.
Oh, right. A cooler so you can put ice in and
well,
keep
they
your
come
food.
around and we're giving out ice, and if you had an ice chest cooler and you took your stuff out of the refrigerator, you could have put that in there, and they were giving out bags of ice.
Right. And that would at least kept some things good for a while.
Right. Well, a couple of days anyway.
Right.
And that's something I can't figure out. You were saying about your refrigerator up there. Them coolers are thinner than your refrigerator, and the ice lasts in them for almost 24
don't
hours.
know. I think it's because it's one of those high efficiency, low humidity refrigerators. So I don't have to defrost it. I don't ever have ice crystals. And even in the fridge part, the regular refrigerator part, it is low humidity to keep things from spoiling and getting moldy. So if you really look at it, there's a lot of airflow. So, I mean, it's keeping it super cool, but at the same time, there's a lot of airflow from inside it out. So that's probably part of the problem.
So, but anyway.
Emergency radios, battery power radios. I mean, you can go right to Lowe's, $120, get you a heavy-duty worksite radio, cordless, power tool, battery charger, the whole nine. Radio pack, right from DeWalt. You just put in your 16 point whatever or 19 point whatever volt battery
When that
charge.
runs out, what do you do?
Well,
You got a spare battery?
Yeah, but according to this, it can run up to 36 hours on a single charge. Yes, 36 hours on a single charge.
Right.
So 3 days or a day and a half.
Day and a half.
That ain't bad. And if you don't use it all the time, you just turn it on just to get an update.
Yeah.
You can probably extend it a few days.
Right.
So that's kind of a nice product.
Right.
too.
Speaking of weather radios, you got AM, FM. You probably got weather alerts that you can probably get on there. But also, I know out in the Midwest, I don't know if it's a national standard or if it's just something out in Tornado Alley type thing, but it's mandatory. All new built homes have a weather radio built right into their home now, so you get alerts right away. So that's something they're doing out west with all their severe weather that they get, that they automatically have something that's automatically built in. It's a standard. Any new buildings or homes that are
Nice
out
emergency radio, yeah. Because I mean, well, like we were talking earlier, without communications, if you think about it, if you are all by yourself, saying if we didn't live inside the town area here, and we were outside and more rural, where your nearest neighbor's 4 miles away or something, or 2 miles away.
Well, that's not.
Well, Seneca County probably wouldn't have that so much.
But, 1,000 feet maybe, or 1,200 feet.
Or even if you're a little further away where you can't see, a lot of traffic coming. If anything ever were to happen.
I see that smoke up there. What's that?
Well, yeah, but think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have any communications. You don't see people out on the street. You don't see cars driving up and down.
Right.
And you got down trees. You got an emergency. Maybe somebody's hurt in your family and you're inside the
And
house.
the power line's laying across the driveway, and I can't get out.
Right. Now you lose that communication thing. You're going to panic, and that's one of the things that I think was my thing in the middle of the night. That first night was, oh my God, if I don't have a cell phone right now, I don't have. What happens if all of a sudden something happens?
We're all going back to that next generation stuff that we talked about the last time I was here.
Right, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So one of the big things that online tells you should have is some type of multi-tool or multi-function tool to have on you at all times or around you at all times, such as a knife, pair of pliers, screwdriver, kind of all-in-one tool. You can buy one of those.
MacGyver.
Yeah, a MacGyver tool.
MacGyver.
What do you say? MacGyver?
MacGyver.
Hello, it's
Anyway,
MacGyver.
anywho.
We're drinking and
MacGyver
doing
his
stuff.
pants, ain't it?
Right?
Come on
Actually,
down to McGeiger's. We'll get you drunk. It's all good.
right? I found another website, to help be prepared in these types of circumstances. You can go to www.ready.gov. It's a FEMA website. and helps you be informed, helps you make a plan, helps you build a kit, just in case of these man-made or natural disasters. They recommend that you have enough food, water supplies
What is
on hand for 72 hours at least.
What is a man-made disaster?
Man-made disaster.
Man-made disaster is when you pass gas. Okay, that's a man-made disaster.
Man-made disaster, nuclear power plant,
or better yet, when JJ passes gas. You should have been here earlier. Oh my God!
Hey now,
you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
I'll tell you, it didn't smell like that when he ate it.
All righty then.
All right, moving on. All right,
next topic. So go to that website, it's www.ready.gov, and it gives you everything from basic disaster supply kits to maintaining your kit storage locations, water, food, what you should need.
And actually, if you want to go a step further with that, they actually make pre-made packs that you can buy that are backpacks through like www.essentialpacks.com. Several other places give you emergency prepared packs that are already pre-built for 1 person, 2 person, 5 person, 8 person, whatever the family might need.
Correct.
I looked up a 2-person pack. It comes with a backpack, emergency food, water rations, the potable aqua water purification tablets.
Nice.
So if you have no running water or you're away from running water.
That's what we had way back in the 60s for
Right.
our canteens in the Army.
One of the things that in my training for emergency communications, if we get deployed anywhere, is for food source, if all else fails, buy several boxes of Pop-Tarts.
Yep.
That's what they recommend. Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
Yep.
Probably
They last
one
forever.
Probably one of the easiest ways to keep food.
Probably if you're going out and
You won't be able to go to the bathroom afterwards.
Right.
But in inclement weather, you should carry these in your car.
Right.
So if you get off the road or something, now all of a sudden
That's a whole new emergency backpack.
Right.
you need a little emergency food or something, rationing or whatever.
Well, like I said, this comes with a lot of stuff. I mean, it comes with like a 5-function survival whistle, a multi-function flashlight radio for emergencies.
It's probably crank.
Yep,
So it's
crank,
powered.
Yep, crank powered. A tube tent, emergency survival blanket times 2. It's an 84-inch by 52-inch. 90% of your body heat. I don't know what it's made out of. Waterproof poncho, basic first aid kit. Dust mask, personal tissue. I mean, this is literally like the survivalist
Tissue,
kit.
heck,
Actually,
I
it sounds
don't
like
even know ya.
sounds like a good kit.
It's a very good kit. Now, guess how much it is?
I'm thinking probably
$90.
$49.99 per person, probably. About $50 per person, probably.
About $50 per person, but on their site you can get this kit for a 2-person for $79.99. So
There
that
you go.
comes with all that stuff plus some other stuff that I didn't get to mention.
It's a great kit.
But why?
But there's the thing: you can go out online and buy one of these kits, store it in the closet or something, or put it in the car, and you're ready for pretty much any type of major disaster if you have to evacuate your house.
Well, if
or
I
even
buy
if you're
it,
stuck in your house.
if I buy it and put it in the closet, and I go out in the car and get stuck somewhere, I got to run home to get that out of the closet so I can go back to the seat.
So you buy several, keep one in each vehicle, and you in the trunk.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking I really want to try one of those rations. It was a 2,400 calorie ration.
Some of them aren't too bad, to be honest with you. Some of them aren't so good, though.
How many people got stuff to eat in their home, and water? Usually if you're out in the country and you don't have any and you got well water, you need electricity for pumping the water out. So you should carry some bottled water or a case of it down in your...
A handheld pump. Back
yeah.
in the old days,
Yeah.
crank.
But,
I do.
I was just using that. You wouldn't have to go to that extreme, but you'd have to have some form of food
Right.
that
Right.
didn't need too much preparation, like cooking or whatever. If you have an electric stove, like a lot of people cook on,
Right?
Yeah.
So some of these people should, take some of these hints into effect now.
Right.
Remember last year when we had all the hurricanes that came up through and actually hit the Outer Banks of New York?
Yep.
Some of the after effects. Hurricane season started June 1st.
right?
Wow, that's early.
That's right.
That's really early for
Well,
Runs June
no,
1st through November, so
It's
Well,
every
You know,
year.
Every year, be prepared.
It's not they're starting it early. It's every year.
Yep,
Yeah, but
every
I mean,
year.
June 1st is a little early. Usually it's like
June-
August something, ain't it?
No, usually June 1st through November, like 11th or something.
Really?
Usually
By the
it's hurricane
time
season.
August comes around here, they've already got 6 names named.
Right?
Well, I don't usually follow hurricanes because we don't usually get too much up here.
Well,
you know,
No.
but-
I
But
don't
if you look
follow-
at the flooding that we had downstate,
right. Oh,
I
man,
don't-
that was
Preparedness
bad.
that they-
Yeah.
Well,
in Vermont.
in Vermont,
I don't follow the
Pennsylvania.
hurricanes. I follow the hurricanes because they're all boys' names.
Wow.
Deep.
Oh,
Anyway, we got to
Wow, that's
less
deep.
than 10 minutes. You want to do that
Less
drawing
than five,
now? Or?
less than 5.
Less than 5? You want to do that
Yeah.
drawing
Actually,
now?
I just
or
want to
later?
mention one other product or one other set of products. There's 2 products now, solar powered, since that's becoming now more viable energy source.
Right.
Even up here in the cloudy weather of New York.
Going green.
Going green, baby.
Gotta love it.
Westinghouse now has a 235 watt AC solar panel grid tie kit. So it has to tie to the grid in order to give power. So you just basically tie it to an electrical outlet, basically. 235 watts. You can hook up to 4 of these in concession. Put it on your house, and you can get up to almost 1,000 or right around 1,000 watts of power given to your house through solar, which could also reduce your energy bills. So
Nice.
there's another thing,
Incentive.
and that's
1,000 watts. How
Thou-
long does that last?
well, it wouldn't last. It's provided power through, so you'd have to have a battery power.
Whatever uses 1,000 watts is whatever it uses up to 1,000 watts per hour. That's how it's measured.
Right, but it's continuous power at this point. The problem is once the grid goes out, these go out. So you'd have to have a battery that UPS,
A fuel cell or whatever.
something
Right.
sitting in the garage or something to
With an inverter on it.
right, and then that's where this would be viable.
That was another thing too. Is I forgot to get bring that inverter down here for you, so you could plug it into your
right in
car.
the house. Right.
Right?
plug it into your car battery or cigarette lighter, because I got the inverter in the motor home, 175 watt inverter, which will even run a slow cooker.
Right, absolutely. So anyway, this Westinghouse product is $980 a panel. So you can do that. Technology wise, we talked about cell phones, being prepared with cell phones and cell carriers. You can get, I had a whole list here of all the different cell carriers and how they rate, but right around $40 a month, you can get a data plan where you can get all your
Prepaid.
weather alerts and stuff like that. And as long as the cell towers stay up or you can get cell signal, you can actually survive that piece.
So you're gonna have Seth come down and draw the name.
No, I figured we just shake it up and draw the name.
Shake it up, man. Shake it up.
Shake
Draw
up.
the name. All right, let's shake up this.
Also, just a new quick thing that I don't know if everybody's
Not many
listening
in
to
here.
Finger Lakes
Not
1,
many.
but
I can't get my hand in it.
you can listen to us now on Stitcher as well.
Right, Stitcher will be on iTunes
iTunes soon.
See, I'm shaking the cup. Here, JJ, don't look.
Okay, I won't look. I can get my hand in there.
All right, let's see who wins. Where's fanfare, Snide? What do we got?
We got
Oh, Robbie. Robbie got it.
Robbie Gould.
Robbie got it.
Robbie, you're lucky, huh?
Robbie got it. See, Robbie got
Okay.
it.
Very good.
All right, so
now we'll start
go.
in for next month.
All right, so we'll dump this out.
Yeah. Dump that out. We'll dump this out. How's that,
Whoops.
Robbie? We'll give
There
this
goes
to
my
you.
mic.
When are we going to give this? You're going to deliver it?
I'll deliver it. It'll be fine. So, anyway.
Get it up here a little closer so you see
Yep,
what
so
it
we'll
is.
give that to Robbie here today, tomorrow, whenever.
And we got another one for this month.
Well, we got another one for this month, and we have one for Father's Day. So get your emails in. If you got questions about computers, technology, anything, you want to talk about anything, give us a call, 315-220-0692, or you can email us.
At techtalklive.ny@gmail.com.
Or go like us on Facebook.
Yeah, like us on Facebook, or you can do Twitter at Tech Talk Live NY.
Right. So anyway, that's all the time we have for this week.
It's been a great show.
Absolutely. I had
Informal.
fun. A little less on computers, but more on being prepared,
Well, being
With
prepared
technology.
with technology.
Right.
No less. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's technology.
Absolutely.
You didn't have this stuff 50 years ago or 40 years ago.
Sure didn't.
No, we didn't. But anyway, you've been listening to Tech Talk Live. I'm Flipper.
I'm Snide.
And I'm JJ.
And we're on every Saturday morning, 11 to 12. So check us out. We're out of here.
See ya.
You've been listening to your technology talk show. Tune in next time to Tech Talk Live.